Okay, I just changed the battery. So today is Sunday, February 6th. Yesterday I had a birthday party for the girls together at Hero Day. Let's see, last week on Adri's birthday, my mom and my stepdad and my grandma came over and we had pizza and we had like a little cake for her to celebrate her 10th birthday. So her birthday was on, let's see, Monday. Yeah, her birthday was Monday the 31st. Was it Monday? Oh my gosh. Yeah, her birthday was on Monday the 31st. So on Monday, JAX'S was supposed to go back and see the eye surgeon on March 16th. By now you know my hair is all cut off, so here's my little bit of hair I have in a clip. Anyway, JAX'S was supposed to go back and see the eye surgeon on March 16th. Well, the last couple weeks, I finally got his stitches. Like, they told me to just go over the incision with a Q-tip with peroxide just to help break up the stitches because his body wasn't dissolving them as fast as they should have been. She said they usually dissolve in 3 weeks and his surgery was December 10th. So in the last couple weeks, since his stitches have dissolved, his eye has started to droop. So it's like, okay, do I wait until March 16th or should I just go ahead and call the surgeon's office and see if she wants me to send him a picture of his eye and see if he wants to see, she wants to see him sooner. So I called the surgeon's office on Monday and told him what was going on. Because also, like, the last couple months, I've noticed that JAX'S head, like the front of his head, like, you can feel it. It looks like he has like a hat line, like he had a headband in, and like the whole front of his skull is like raised up more than the back. So I'm like, okay, I wonder if there's something going on with his skull that's affecting his eye. I'm like, I don't know. So I called the surgeon, told them what was going on. They said no, they don't want to wait. They want me to get him that day. I said, well, I can't get him there today. I'm like, I'm an hour and a half away. I have 2 kids in school. I have to line up babysitters and people to pick them up from school. I'm like, there's no way I can make it there today. She's like, okay. She's like, we'll see you tomorrow then. Can you make it here tomorrow? So I'm like, yeah. So I called my mom to make sure she could get the girls. Like, she make sure she could watch Allie after I picked her up from school. I would drop her off there and make sure she could still go get Adri. And I called Jay to see if he could get off work like half a day so that we could go take him to the surgeon's office. Because I'm like, okay, they want to see him today. Like, now I'm starting to get nervous. So we got everything situated. We went to his appointment on Tuesday. It was actually at the surgeon's office that's like right next to Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus. We usually see her at the Dublin office, but she's only there on Wednesdays, and they didn't want to wait till Wednesday, so we saw her on Tuesday. Hold on, this blanket is messing with me. So while we were in there, she said that she's pretty sure that his lid drooping is just scar stretch. She said some people, when they get a scar, like she said, some moms after C-section, they'll have like a straight line scar, where others, their incision, like after the stitches or staples or whatever out, it just kind of opens up. She said it's called scar stretch. She said she's pretty sure that's what it is, since his just started drooping again, or like dropping, since his stitches fell out. She said you can't go into a surgery assuming that the child has scar stretch, because then if you over tighten the muscle, then there's going to have like a gaping wide open eye, and you don't want that. But she said now we know that he does have scar stretch. Sorry, I'm trying to upload a video and my computer just like went in sleep mode. So she said, you know, now if he has to have surgery again, she knows that he has scar stretch, so she knows to pull a little bit tighter. So while we were sitting there, she's like, you know, don't worry. She said, well, I'll see you back on March 16th like planned. And Jay spoke up and he said, well, she said, you know, she was kind of wondering if it had anything to do with JAX'S head. And she's like, what? Which I'm so glad that he spoke up, because I just kind of was like, okay, whatever, it's not a big deal, I'm not gonna even bring it up. So I told her, I said, the last couple of months, I said, I've noticed like his skull just feels weird. So you can feel it, so you can even see it. There's like a ridge in his skull. So I called him back over because he was already back playing. And she started feeling his head and she's like, whoa. She's like, he definitely needs to see a craniofacial team like as soon as possible. She said, what's going on with JAX'S is, hold on. She told me he needed to see that team. And she said that, you know, either she could refer us to one because she's familiar with them right there at Nationwide, because she's a pediatric eye surgeon, so she works with children all the time. And she said it's a very common thing. She sees it all the time. And she said, or I could wait until I saw my doctor. I said, well, I'm supposed to see my family doctor on March 16th in the morning, and then I'm supposed to see you that afternoon. She said, we'll talk to him that morning, and if that afternoon, she said, let me know if he wants to find somebody or if he wants me to refer you guys somewhere. She said, I will gladly do it. So, went home, told everybody the news. Well, I told my mom, I told my stepdad, my dad, and my sister. And then the next morning, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to call my doctor's office and tell them what's going on. So I call the doctor's office and tell them, you know, what's going on and what she says. I said, do you want me to keep my appointment for March 16th? And they said, no, we don't. I said, well, she said she was going to email you of like what's going on. I said, so do you want me to, you know, do you want to try and see him sooner or just wait till the March 16th appointment? She said, no. She said, she said, can we, you know, we want to see you today. It's like, you can't ever get into my doctor's office that day. It doesn't matter what you have going on, you can never get in that day. So I'm like back in freak out mode, like, okay. So I go in, I'm like, she said, how about 10:40? I'm like, okay, I'm like, that's in an hour. I'm like, I'll just go ahead and, I said, they just had breakfast, I'll go ahead and get him dressed. Like, Adrian's already at school. I said, I'll go ahead and get him dressed. And so this was Wednesday, and Allie doesn't have school. So I went ahead and got him dressed, we went there. So we go in, I start telling my doctor what's going on, and he starts feeling his head. He's like, wow, he's like, when did you notice this? I said, just in the last couple months. I said, like, he had to have his hair cut before his surgery. So, like, in December, he had his hair cut. And that's when I really noticed, like, how bad it was that you could see it. I said, but before, I said, you used to always, like, check his head and feel his pulse. So I said, but for the longest time, like, most of JAX'S appointments are, like, virtual appointments. So it's, like, through the computer or, like, over the phone, through FaceTime. So, like, I don't really know. I'm like, it hasn't been that long. I said, but as far as I can just think that I remember it and noticed it like just within the last few months. So basically what has happened is during the healing of JAX'S soft spot, the skull is supposed to be like separate plates that can move and grow until like a certain age. Well, what happened with JAX'S is at some point all of the skull, all of the plates fused together. So what's going on with him is as his brain is growing, his skull can't grow along with it because it's all fused together. So like the front of his skull is like growing up and out, and the back can't grow because it's fused together on the sides. Like the surgeon told me what they would do, but I just wanted to hear it from my doctor also. He said she probably sees a lot of cases of it because, or like sees it more frequently because she's a pediatric doctor. She only works with children, and she's an eye surgeon, an eye doctor, so she's working like around their heads and stuff. He said he's only seen like 3 or 4 like his entire career, and he's been in practice for a long time. So yeah, so where the plates should be separate and there should be space between them so they can move and grow as his brain grows, his is not doing that. So what they will have to do is we have to go see, like later that day when I got home, I called back to the surgeon's office, told him go ahead, just refer us wherever. So they were putting the referral in that day, and I should hear back like any day from Nationwide Children's Hospital. So they will schedule us an appointment, and we will go meet with this craniofacial team, and then they will schedule his they'll do just like a, you know, the first initial like observing his head and all that kind of stuff. And then they will have to make an appointment for him to have an MRI. So he'll have to get put to sleep for an MRI, because since his skull can't grow with his brain, it can cause brain damage. It can cause like pressure in the brain because it can't expand. So the MRI will check and make sure everything else is okay if they make sure there's no brain damage, and then they will set him up for surgery because they're gonna have to go in and remove part of his skull. Is it basically where it's fused? Like my doctor said, he's pretty sure it's fused on the sides, because you can feel it really bad on the sides, like, you know, on the top, but he's pretty sure it's fused on the sides, which we'll know more after, like, the MRI and everything, but he's in there singing. He just woke. He's taking a nap. Jay has the girls and Adri's friend out sledding, because Adri's friend spent the night after the birthday party last night. So anyways, what they do is wherever the skull plates are fused together, they go in and they will remove like that whole strip of his skull to allow space in there for the plates to move. Normally this is like when a child is first born, like when they're newborns, or like the first couple months of their life is when you notice like it happens in the womb. Jackson's case is completely different because he will be 3 in like 2 months. So they, in most cases, it's like the first few months of life and the child has surgery before they're even 1. I mean, there are cases where they're older, but from what I don't want to research too much, because from what I've researched, the older they get, the more severe and worse off, like longer surgery, longer recovery time, all that. So in some cases they have to actually remove the plates and reform them and put them back. Some instances they have to use plates and screws. I don't know, we don't know what's gonna happen, but we do know 100% the surgeon said they just pretty much go in and they remove, like, so they'll pretty much, I'm pretty sure they will cut him from ear to ear, and they will go in and cut this strip of his skull. I'm guessing the way you can feel the, I'm guessing it probably attached or fused together. It's called premature fusion. Oh, by the way, she made it sound they'll just remove that whole strip of his skull so that there's space in there for it to move and grow. But like I said, the first step is doing the MRI to make sure there's no damage in there from his brain not being able to grow for the past, we don't know how long. So I'm just, I know it could be worse. I know. But here's my little baby boy. He's not even 3. He's already had an eye surgery. And she's probably said, she said if we go back on March 16th to do like his regular vision check, they're gonna dilate his eyes and make sure his vision's okay. If it has dropped any more towards blocking his vision like it was before, then she'll have to schedule for another surgery. She said they won't have to cut any of the muscle out, they just have to tighten the muscle up. So he's already had an eye surgery. He's probably gonna have a second eye surgery to just tighten the muscle more, and to know that they're gonna like cut his head open and like literally remove parts of his skull. Like, it hasn't been a week since I found all this out, and I found out on Tuesday from the surgeon, and then on Wednesday from my doctor. He verified, he agrees 100%. Like Wednesday when he agreed, like it just, anybody just like was in more detail of what happened and how they fixed everything. Like it's just, that's when it really like set in, like, oh my god, like. So it's been 4 days since I found out what's gonna happen. I don't know the timeline. Some things say they'll be in ICU for at least 24 hours and in the hospital for a couple days. It just depends on the case and the situation, but I just can't even wrap my mind around what's gonna be happening. They said it needs fixed like now because he's almost 3. You definitely want it done before he's 3. Like he turns 3 in 2 months. So like I said, that doctor, the surgeon saw us. They wanted to see us that day that I called about his eye. And now I called, when I told my doctor's office about the issue with his head, they wanted to see us that day. And now, any day now, probably Monday, tomorrow, I'll be getting a call from Nationwide to set up his appointment with the craniofacial team. I can't even believe it. Like, it was hard when I took him for his eye surgery and just knowing they were going to fix his eye, but knowing that they're literally cutting his head open and removing pieces of his skull. Like, my little 2-year. Yes, I get it. I know it could be worse, but you know, it could be better too. So Adri's birthday was last Monday. We saw the surgeon on Tuesday.
Wednesday we saw our doctor. Yesterday was Saturday. I had a combined birthday party for the girls at Hero Day. Like, I took video there. We had a huge snowstorm. They didn't have school Thursday or Friday. And now I'm just still, there's just other things going on too that are huge things I'm just not going to talk about yet. Tomorrow's pajama day. I don't know if I'll be seeing that craniofacial team this week. I have no idea how soon they'll get us in to see him since he's older. Like, they're rushing everything. The girls have Valentine parties, I think Friday. They need to bring in their Valentine boxes. We haven't even started them. I'm just... So yeah, that's the little update on my baby boy. So if you would, again, I feel like I say this way too many times, is keep him in your prayers. That there's no damage and that it's an easy procedure for him and that everything goes okay. I'll keep you updated as things happen, but oh man, my poor boy. So yeah, this will just be today's vlog for, what is it, Sunday, February 6th. I took a little bit of footage earlier, just the kids playing outside in the snow. I'm trying to be myself and but I can't even like motivate myself right now. There's too much going on right now. I just can't. But yeah, keep my little Jaxie Poo in your prayers. Me as well, because I told Jay he's gonna have to be strong for both of us because I'm gonna have a full meltdown with all of this. So yeah, let me know if you know of any children, if your child has went through, because I don't know anybody. Like, this is something I've never even heard of. So yeah, I don't know anybody that can relate. I have nothing to even compare it to, especially with him being almost 3 and everything I can find online is pretty much like little ones and babies. So yeah, yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this vlog. I don't have any tissues nearby, sorry. But yeah. Allybug turns 5 here in 8 days on Valentine's Day. There's just so much right now. Send me some virtual hugs and yeah. Alright guys, I'll see you.